What's up, guys? Here back with another YouTube video. Blaze Weather here, back. Today we are going to be talking about a major, and I mean major severe weather event that is going to be likely in the next few days here, guys. So, there is a slight risk of severe weather today, remember, guys? So, we're only going to be talking about severe weather today because there's so much to talk about that we're only talking about severe weather. I'm sorry to those that want to talk about the fire, but there is going to be some very dangerous fires, so if you're in this area, be very careful for some fires. Alright, so back to this. We have a big, and I mean really big, slight risk of severe weather today into parts of Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. If I will turn on the cities here, there's many cities like Kansas City, Wichita, Norfolk, Omaha, and Lincoln that are going to be impacted. Norfolk's very out of it, but you have Wichita Falls, Oklahoma, Norman, Abilene, Dallas, and Waco. Dallas and Fort Worth and Waco that's going to be impacted by this. So if any of you guys are in this slight risk of severe weather, be very careful because you guys could get some dangerous severe weather tonight from a line of storms. So they also have just issued severe weather watch being possible right up here in Nebraska and Iowa and a little part of South Dakota, with probability watch being 60%, so there's probably going to be a severe thunderstorm watch that will be issued in this area with increasing hail threat. So there will be a dangerous hail threat in this area, and I do think there's that chance for a tornado or for a tornado too being possible on the most southern side of this. Yeah. And then a low-level jet to increase for the next 2 to 3 hours with marginally small to marginally severe hail, leading to an increase in storm coverage slash intensity. There also is a mesoscale discussion saying severe weather watch being likely with damaging winds, hail, and a couple of tornadoes are possible. I do think that this area could get a tornado watch, maybe possible from this, but I do think there's a higher chance of a severe thunderstorm watch. But if they do issue a severe tornado watch, then that is there being possible from this storm. A watch is 95%, so if you're in this area, be weather aware for some dangerous severe weather that will be heading north, like a line like path like that, northeast, with tornadoes being possible, damaging wind gusts, and hail. There's also a day 2 massive moderate risk with a huge area of severe weather. If you're anywhere in this area, be careful and weather aware for severe weather. There's a slight risk in I'll just say the risk areas: Bowling Green, Nashville, Evansville, St. Louis, Louisville, Jackson, Memphis, Greenville, Jackson, Shreveport, Alexandria, Mobile, New Orleans, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Little Rock, and Chattanooga, Columbus, and Dothan. With a tornado threat being very high in a lot of areas, in an area for strong to violent tornadoes being possible, it's the highest threat, and in my opinion, a lot of people's opinions, being the tornado threat down here in Louisiana because of that threat for embedded supercells and tornadoes from this. And even strong to possibly violent tornadoes in the QLCS line. And the wind threat is extremely high in this big hatched area. In Jackson, Memphis, Greenville, Jackson, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, Alexandria, in many different areas. And Mobile here, and New Orleans that is being impacted, and Birmingham. So this is going to be very dangerous, guys. If you're in this area, you could get upwards of 80 miles per hour winds. If you get an 80-mile-per-hour wind from this, you might need to take shelter in your basement because it has very high winds up to a weak tornado. Anywhere in this could get dangerous winds from this storm. The hail threat is very low, so don't be trying to see a lot of hail from this. There's a very low chance of hail. Alright, so there's also a day 3 outlook with a big slight risk of severe weather in Raleigh, Richmond, Baltimore, and Washington. And another slight risk area for a possible tornado. Possible tornadoes right here in Tallahassee, Columbus, and almost in Atlanta and in Dawson. So now we are going to head to pivotal weather right now. So now we are at the models. We're at the HRRR model from this storm. So you can see that we're going to show if we go a few hours out, if we go some hours out, you can see a big dry line coming in right there. You can see it. And then a lot of areas that have dew points in this area, with the severe weather being all the way down here, especially down here in the south. And you can see I think there could be a little bit of mode here, a little bit of a mode of maybe a tornado or two being possible and some wind in this area after you see some moisture in the 60s of dew points here near St. Louis. And then this is our main threat area with some very high dew points that are going to come into this area. And a narrow line of dew points after the squall line hits there. A very, of dew points in the mid to high 60s from this. So it'd be very well rare if you have an area in, I think, the mid 50s to upper 60s. All those areas could be under the gun for severe weather. Now, if we look at the temperatures, it is going to go up and get really strong here. There's going to be a lot of high temperatures and some very high temperatures down here in the high 60s to low 70s, and in the low from 60 degrees to 73 degrees from this. And then peak heating comes in very high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s possible from this, guys. So now we are going to head to the precipitation. So if we look at the precipitation, guys, here, you can see they are showing a small line, but this is going to be much bigger than this. But there's a big line with damaging winds from this, guys. And then if you see it come through, a big damaging wind threat. I need to do that 1 second here, guys. And then you target for a big linear mode of possible damaging winds down here of up to 80 mph. Yes, I'm saying this, 80 miles per hour. 70 to 80 winds with maybe even up to 90. This is going to be very dangerous. Take shelter if you're under a severe thunderstorm. That's upwards of 75 miles per hour or higher. So now we are going to head, here, guys. Oh, by the way, guys, we'll also show the NAM model for this storm and for the storm down here. Alright. And then now we're going to head southeast, and we are going to switch this to the NAM 3cam CONUS, because I do think they are showing this a little bit better than what the HRRR is showing from this. You can see right here a lot of storms forming, with some embedded supercells being possible in this area that could produce some strong to possibly violent tornadoes from this, guys. Here, and you can see the and 3cam is showing some possible supercells forming from right here, with a big line of possible strong tornadoes from this. I'm actually going to switch back to the HRRR. They're showing it a little better actually down south. You can see the possible risks for some embedded supercells forming here, and I do think the area that could get the area for the most strong violent tornadoes down here in Baton Rouge and New Orleans is going to be impacted, guys. If this is a long video, guys, I'm sorry, and that's just because we have a lot to talk about. Big line of possibly damaging with 80 mph from this, guys, and then an area of supercells. You can see some supercells, right? Some supercells down here that are forming that could produce some strong violent tornadoes. And you can see once it reaches here, it gets weaker over here, but there's still a little bit of a mode coming in from right here in Mobile and Pensacola. And you can see possible there could be some damaging winds and a possible tornado threat into here. So now we're going to talk about here. So guys, there's going to be some very big temperatures into here, guys. Look, 90 degrees. It's going to be very windy and not very windy. Very high temps. And this is today. And if you can see, guys, this is the big cold front, and you can see some storms. You can see on here storms forming and dropping these temperatures. If you look, you can see those storms that are making these temperatures drop right there. And then I do think that I didn't mean to click that. That there could be some tornadoes possible that head into Kansas City and Wichita. So if we look at the dew points, they do some decent dew points in here within the 60s. So now we are going to head to the Surface Base Cape. So you can see a lot of cape existing with a little notch up there. And then a lot of cape that is existing here, and some higher, which is in the instability. And you can see these storms are eating all this cape from right here. You can just see that, and they just completely destroy that cape. All right. And if you check the photographs, you can see a lot of cape from this. And you can see some, and you can see there could be some tornadoes forming up there after some higher cape. And you can see a lot of, in this area, could get some photographs for a possible tornado and damaging hail. So now we're going to go back to the southeast U.S. And you can see they do get quite a bit of cape from this. If we go to significant tornado parameter, there's a ton of significant tornado parameters. And right here, when I was talking about the possible area of significant tornadoes with embedded supercells, there is a lot of a lot of it on the significant tornado parameter right here, upwards of into the 3s, all the way into the 2s to 4 range from this. And you can see a lot of it existing in here in the 2 to 4s zone with some very high significant tornado parameters from this in here. That even exists down here into this area that could get a tornado. So I hope you guys like this video. We've talked a lot about this in here. If you are in this area, be very careful for some very dangerous dangerous severe weather. I am in the slight risk of severe weather. I'm in Missouri in the slight risk. I have a 5% chance for tornadoes from this, so I will keep an eye out in my area, but my area is not going to be impacted as bad. So if you guys are in this area, be very careful, because I can talk to you about what's going to happen and include your area in my outlook and my severe weather that I'm talking about. So, hope you guys like this video. We are going to end this here. First time I head on radar, maybe a little bit. Oof. That was a lot to talk about here, guys. It really was a lot. So, a very massive area. Remember, guys, download Radar Make. It's a very awesome app. Way better. It's so much better than Radar Scope. I just gotta admit it. So much better than this app. So go back to this, and you got a lot of areas. So if you're in this area, guys, just be very careful. Even in the enhance and the slide, be very careful, guys. Hope you guys like this video. We are going to end here. There are actually a few strong thunderstorms forming in the area that I said could get some possible supercellular tornadoes. Hope you guys like this video, and bye.